slept in so long, and I'm such a sleep creature that I'm like...
A sleep creature.
Creature of sleep? I'm not gonna...
I don't think that's phrase.
No, I'm not gonna make it any better. We're gonna move on. But anyway.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Today I Am podcast. I'm Taylor, here with Megan and Sam.
We're excited to share stories from our lives, past and present, and talk through the lessons we've learned along the way.
It's all about reflection, not perfection. We're here to keep it real, create a space for open and honest conversations, and build a community. So grab a seat,
Get comfy.
And join us each week as we figure out who we are today.
Together. All right, welcome back to Today I Am.
Hello!
That felt like it needed like a little... Oh, perfect. Oh my gosh, I don't think we got that last week. We didn't get a Tay dance.
I was like off my game because we hadn't recorded in a while.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Also, I just have to acknowledge, I think it's just like, well, first of all, how
But
I'm
I feel
sitting.
so high up.
Well, you look like you're a foot taller than me because of how we're sitting.
Yeah,
And
actually, this is like a drastic...
That's why this cushion was like this before, and I was like, I look miniature. But it's just because I'm sitting like a
It's just
scrub.
because I'm just so tiny.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so tiny.
How does it feel to be a short friend?
I know. I'm just so little.
Said Megan, never.
Literally. Anyways, Sam, how are you today?
Today I'm feeling a little tired.
Yeah.
I also, as I was about to say what I was about to say next, I acknowledge I am on the couch with two moms who are
whatever.
living off children's sleep schedule.
You are allowed to be tired, and we are also allowed to be tired.
Well, what I'm about to say is the part where I was like, I acknowledge that, oh, poor Sam.
We chose to have kids.
To get up every morning now for Oliver's insulin, and I have to get up at like 6:45 every morning, no matter what, on weekends. Nothing, like, it's always going to be that way. It's a set schedule. And
On the weekends is an annoying part.
It does suck, I've had plans both days this weekend, which I'm, like, love that I had plans, but I haven't been able to go back to bed or, like, lay down and just, like, chill.
Yep, you're up.
So I'm just feeling that a little bit. Like, I haven't slept in so long, and I'm such a sleep creature that I'm, like...
A sleep creature.
Creature of sleep? I'm not gonna...
I don't think that's a phrase.
No, I'm not gonna make it any better. We're gonna move on. But anyway, so that's how I'm feeling. It's just a little bit tired and ready to have a day where I said next Saturday I'm not making any plans in the morning. So I can, like, have to get up still. Like, I have to be the parent in my household, but then I can go back and, like, have a nap.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's funny because ours are like very similar. I am also feeling a little tired today. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Like, my Today I Am is like, today I am really freaking excited for my husband to come back from being away from work.
Yeah.
Because I'm just feeling like a bit, like, almost run down.
Yep.
Again, we talked about this last week, and not to be like, oh, we're so busy, but I just feel like we've been really busy these past little bits, and it's been great. We've had, like, we've gone to Penticton, we're gonna, like, we have lots of things happening, so it's all good. But when you're busy, and then, like, Tyler was away for his week home, because he was at a golf tournament last time, so I only saw him for a few days, and so then I was like, solo
you guys
parenting
had
for almost
travel.
2 weeks. We had travel and whatever, so then I just am like, I'm starting to feel that little bit of run down, so we're on Sunday, he comes home Tuesday night, we are getting close.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited for him to be back and just feel
Of course.
like then I can be the baby and he can take care of me.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need to feel taken care of.
Yeah.
Totally. I also just wanted to say, like, about yours, but it fits with yours as well, of, like, you can be tired, and you can be tired because you're like, oh, I usually get 10 hours of sleep, and I only got 9, you know? Or someone can be tired, and they're like, oh, I got 4 hours of sleep instead of my usual 4.5. Like,
I just because we're moms doesn't mean
Totally.
like,
It just
you
feels
can't
more like
be.
that, like, I'm not parenting after, so it feels like less, I don't know. It's definitely something that I overthink a lot, is, like,
you're fine.
being aware of.
But again,
Also-
it's something we chose to do to, like, have kids. You've intentionally right now chosen not to.
And then I have
so
a
it's
diabetic
like,
cat, so now all of a sudden I'm on a
Truly.
kid's schedule.
and also, I'm not that tired today, so you can be more tired than me if you
Yeah,
want.
I actually got a great sleep last night. So,
All right,
we're
vibes.
good.
Well, I'm tired.
Sorry about this coughing. I don't know what's happening.
No, it's freaking allergies outside.
Well, yeah, but
That didn't
Seasons
make
are
sense, what I just
changing.
whatever. Anyways, okay, so
How are you today?
I'm great. I'm not tired. However, today I am a perfectionist.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
We are.
Yes. And this is kind of an interesting one and so I want to do something a little bit different than we've done for other topics that are kind of similar to this, because I feel like when we've had other topics like this where it's like the people pleaser episode is a great example. It's like we kind of went into it being like, and here's some advice about how to deal with it, or like here's some here's a situation that I've been able to work through, or here's how I've gotten better with this certain relationship or something. For me with perfectionism, I'm like, and I'm still the worst I ever could be. And so I don't feel like I've gotten to that point of being like, and here's how I'm facing it or whatever. So I essentially want to like do that live today. Ooh. Live.
Oh. So, feels like live therapy.
Yeah, yikes.
So essentially the reason that I wanted to do this episode is because I started reading this book called, what's the beginning of it? I'm going to just grab it. The Perfectionist's Guide to Losing Control. I always forget the exact title. I love this book. It's really good. Highly recommend it. It's really good. But essentially how this book is written is like, she literally starts it by being like, if you want to stop being a perfectionist, if that's your intent of reading this book, stop reading this book. Like, that's not the point. Mm-hmm. It's to learn what kind of perfectionist you are, and then learn your, like, strengths and weaknesses around that.
It's like a personality test almost.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that that's such a better way to think about it, of not trying to be like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, and how am I going to fix it? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I'm this kind of perfectionist, and here's all the strengths that I have because of that. And then here are some weaknesses, and here are, like, the ways that I can kind of work with this. Mm-hmm. So, I invite everyone to follow along with this, but we're doing our favorite thing on this show, a ChatGPT quiz.
Woo!
So, this is just like you need to know, like, do you have the most A, B, C's, or D's? So, if you guys want to write it down, you can, or you can just, like, remember.
Won't remember.
What?
Hilarious.
Just remember.
Hilarious.
Okay, so there are, just so you're aware, there's 6 questions. So, we're going to jump right in. Tell me when you are ready.
Ready.
Okay. So, how do you usually approach a new project? You make a detailed plan, schedule, and checklist before even starting. B, you brainstorm and dream, but then often to actually start until you feel like everything is planned.
No. Okay.
I think about how others will see it and how it might connect me to the people around me. Or I set big goals and immediately think about how to then outperform those expectations.
Do you want us to tell our answer right now, or just write it down?
Sure, you can say which one.
I think I'm like a few of those. Like A and C were both speaking to me.
Okay.
I think I like plan a lot out in my head at the beginning to like kind of just like gather my thoughts and then be like, okay, now I can go. But I also think I picked C as my like picked answer because I think about others. Yeah.
Okay.
I just put A. I definitely find I need to like sit down and I need like I can't tackle anything without writing down my steps. I need to tackle it first. Like that is like 100% my style. And anytime somebody's like, I need help with this, I'm like, okay, where's your pen and paper? We're like going through a list of how to do this before we're doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
What was your answer? Just out of curiosity.
A for that one.
Okay.
So that's the same. Detailed plan.
Sorry, hold on.
You're okay. Okay. What frustrates you most when things don't go your way? So this is like, it's kind of a weirdly worded question, but it's essentially like, if something didn't go your way, which of these, if that had happened, would make you the most frustrated? So, for example, like the first one is when it feels sloppy, disorganized, or inefficient.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if something didn't go your way and it was sloppy and disorganized, would that be the thing that pissed you off the most about why it didn't go your way?
Okay.
B, when you can't execute the vision that you had in your head. C, when people seem disappointed in me or don't value my effort.
Oh God,
or
I'm
D,
all about the people.
when I don't meet my goals or I lose to competition.
C.
A and C like combined. Like I
Same.
actually don't feel like I can pick.
Okay.
Because I would say C actually, and this one is more forthcoming because I think like I can mess up a project so badly, but like I've put my heart and soul into it, and I can still find moments of satisfaction out of it if people acknowledge like the hard work and the effort and like that you did your best effort.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Whereas if people are just like, this was shit and you did terrible, blah, blah,
Then
blah,
you're like,
and then
yeah.
then I'm just like distraught. Like it ruins my like
Agreed.
day.
Totally.
Yeah, A and C have been both, like I've been really drawn to both of them in both of those questions so far.
Yeah. Okay. 3. What motivates you deep down? Security in structure and doing things the right way. Potential, the idea of what could be if it turns out perfectly. C, belonging, connection, or being admired. And D, achievement, status, and proving my capability.
A, I think. But again, A and C.
Okay.
I actually think D for me there. Like I really like to like show like what I'm capable of. Like for a like example of this is like we just had a really big like work event and I killed myself at it. I feel like literally there's
the
nails,
bruises to show.
there's bruises and nails missing. Like it was blood, sweat, and tears kind of thing. And but like the moment that like made me feel so good at the end was just like being like, but I did it. Like I did it.
Yeah.
What about you, Meg?
A and C are really a split for me on this one. I feel like
Right.
the other ones have been like it's either A or it's C, but I would say I pick C, which is belonging, connection, or being admired. Okay, number 4. If a friend gave you unexpected feedback, how would you react? A, take notes, try to adjust, maybe feel annoyed at myself for missing something. B, feel discouraged, maybe I'll put it off until I can do better. C, worry about what it means for how they see me. Or D, get defensive at first, but then use it as fuel to push harder.
C.
Yeah, I think C as well.
I think that I would be like, I'm more mad at myself for like not performing the way
Agreed.
that I felt like I should have, or
Same.
like that they maybe had that perception of.
I think that then that's A, feel annoyed at myself for missing something.
Oh, yeah, that's...
C
Can you
is-
say A and C again?
Yeah, A is take notes, try to adjust, and feel annoyed at myself for missing something.
Yeah.
And then C is worry about what it means for how they see me.
No, I think
I'm
it's more
both.
how they see me. Like I think
Okay.
I'm more annoyed because I missed something because of now how they're gonna see me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm both. Like, then I feel really
That's
bad
okay.
that then I missed something.
Just pick one.
Okay. I have C written down.
We'll read A and C, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Okay, how do you typically handle mistakes? I replay them in my head until I figure out how I could avoid it in the future. I avoid looking at them. It feels too painful and it confirms my fears. I feel embarrassed or ashamed, especially if others saw. Or I get angry at myself, double down, and try to overcompensate.
C.
Do you want me to read them again?
I do need you to read those guys. I can't remember.
So A is I replay. So this is how do you typically handle mistakes?
Yeah.
A, I replay them in my head until I figure out how to avoid it in the future. B, I avoid looking at them. They feel too painful or confirm my fears. C, I feel embarrassed or ashamed, especially if others saw. Or D, I get angry at myself, double down, and try to overcompensate.
D.
Okay. Mine's, I think, A in that one. C is close, but I think
I was
more A.
debating between A.
And then, last but not least, which compliment would make you feel the most validated? A, you're so organized and reliable. B, your ideas are so creative and full of potential. C, you make everyone feel valued and loved. Or D, you're unstoppable, you always achieve what you set out to.
C.
Literally, when I get to C, I just see you.
Well,
Like,
literally,
right
I'm like...
every time. You're like, there's
As
nothing
soon as
you
he
can
said,
say.
if I can make someone feel valued and loved, yeah, I've won.
Do you want them again?
No, I think I'm D.
Okay, yeah. That doesn't stop me. Or
Yeah.
that doesn't stop me. What?
Yeah, what?
That doesn't surprise me.
What
It's
was
because I
D?
started to read You're Unstoppable. D is You're Unstoppable. You always achieve what you set out to.
Yeah, I think.
I think that totally makes sense. Okay, so you're mostly C's.
Yeah.
What are you? You're a bit of a mix.
I have 3 D's, a C, and an A.
Okay, so you're mostly D's, but then I would say we're all a mix.
Sorry, 3 D's, 2 C's, and an A. I was like, I only gave you 5 letters, and it's 6 questions.
So you're mostly D's, but then I would say that we're all a mix of A and C, and then you're a mix of A, C, and D.
Yep.
I'm just all the perfectionists.
But none of us are B's, and that's not going to be a surprise at all when you guys hear
B
what
did
it
not
is.
resonate with me at all.
No.
As soon as you said B, I was
But
like,
B
no.
felt like more of the creative, like, kind of like perfectionist, where it's like, I want my idea.
Yeah.
Like, I just, based on those questions, and I am
Same.
not, like, I don't want to be the creative lead. Like, give me the task, and I will do it.
Same. I agree.
It's actually funny because it's not a really...
Oh.
It is a bit of a dreamer, but it's...
Anyways,
It's
we'll
something
let
else
you
that
give
we're
us
not.
the whole,
Okay, so mostly A's is the classic perfectionist. Structure-loving, rule-oriented, and dependable.
Yeah, makes sense why I was also like teetering.
also makes sense why I didn't actually have a lot of A's, because I am not a rule follower.
That's totally fair. Yeah, and I would say that
I
we
am.
are more similar, but then I'm more C. But when you hear what C is, we are both more C, but in different ways.
Oh.
So then mostly B's, if this was you are the procrastinator or the messy perfectionist. And this is a dreamer with high standards, but typically fear holds you back. So these are the kind of people who can like vision like big ideas and whatever, but then are like, oh, if I can't execute it perfectly, then like I don't even want to start.
Oh, yeah.
Not I.
Not
Yeah.
me.
And then mostly C's is called the Parisian. I think that's what this word is. The Parisian perfectionist.
I don't know what that means really.
And this is relationship driven, focused on connection and approval.
Yeah.
And like I know when we did our people pleasing episode, it was like I was so not, but it's like I am very concerned with like how other people view what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm very like aware of other people's opinions, things like
Yeah,
that.
and I like do things to like
For
please
other people.
for
Yeah.
other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then mostly D's is competitive, ambitious, and driven to excel, which I think totally makes
Yes,
sense.
ma'am,
And
yeah.
sorry, that's called the intense perfectionist.
That makes sense.
So, then essentially what I wanted to do is then go through like strengths and weaknesses. But just before we do that, just hearing those things. So let's say we're gonna just
I'm a C,
say
yeah.
the Parisian perfectionist. So that's relationship driven, focused on connection and approval.
Yeah.
And then yours is competitive, ambitious, and driven to excel. What are your guys' like first reactions like hearing that?
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, that's bang on.
I think my like toxic, like my, I'm gonna say toxic trait in like a jokey way. Like I understand, no, it's like something that also is very good for me. But my like no level of chill ever is like for sure in that category where I'm like, okay, great, I've done the thing, my big event's over. Okay, I'm gonna chill. No, just kidding. I'm actually gonna go, and now I want to do the next step in that, and it's definitely like what is like a success for me in my like career and in my personal life, but also my demise in my career and my personal life, where like
Totally.
I have no chill. Like I just can't stop.
When you hear like, so you're like the intense perfectionist, those words like competitive, ambition, driven to excel, do you feel like mostly positive or negative or like neutral feelings about those? Like
I see both, I think, like, because when I hear competitive, like, I don't view the competitive part of that at all, like, as negative. Like, I think it's more, I have a really high standard for myself. Like, if I'm not the most valuable person on my team, then why am I on that team kind of thing in my mind.
Does it lean one way for you at all though? Like overall in that, are you like, oh, I can see the good, but like, oh, I've got a lot to work on? Or are you like, oh, I really see the good, and yeah, there's a little to work on? Or is it like,
I would
there's
say I see the
equal of
good
both?
more, and I
Okay.
definitely know there's areas that it's, like, not always healthy. Like, it can be when under control, and when it's not under control, it can become unhealthy.
Totally. Okay, and for yours, the words again were relationship driven, connection, and approval.
Yeah, I think very similar to Sam. Like, I can see the good and I can also see the bad. When I hear those specific words, I'm like, oh, those are good. Like, I really like that. I think for me, sometimes the approval can be like the bad part for me, because sometimes I just seek approval from others when it's like, who really cares? Do you approve? Like, I think that's my demise, is when I like seek approval from others instead of myself. But like the relationships and that connection piece, like that so makes sense. That's exactly how I am. And I think that's a really good thing. And like, that's a part of myself that I like, is I feel like I'm like nurturing and connecting and loving and like in those aspects. And so at least I hope that it comes off that way.
Do you need approval?
Yeah, I'm
That
like,
it
can
comes
you guys
across
tell me
way?
that? That's right. But yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I think that approval part I take, like I need to seek it for myself instead of others.
Like,
Totally.
sometimes you give people the space to give you approval where it's not
Well,
necessarily
I like
space
want
to
people to give
their
me that approval, not in a way of like, tell me I'm right, but I'm like, am I doing what's right for you? Like, is that good for you?
When
Did
it's
I
like,
do
are you
this
doing what's
right?
right for you?
Yeah, when it's like, yeah, there's a time and place for doing that, but like, I need to do what's right for me, and do I approve of that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Just like a quick derailment. I was listening to a podcast and it was about like neurobiology and whatever, but one of the things they were just talking about is like how we perceive like other people's emotions and stuff. And it was just really interesting, and they were actually talking about it in like a parenting way, which I feel like this is like a really, for some people this is going to be like, whoa, that is like not a good way to think about this at all, but I think it's just interesting to think about for other relationships as well. Of like, the example was, if I as a mom wanted to go out with my friends and my child was crying and is like, don't leave, then if you were like explaining that to someone, you'd be like, oh, I felt so guilty, they wanted me to stay, oh, I felt so like whatever. And it's like, well, if you value time with your friends and you value having time to be your own person and you value having those connections with those people, then why did you feel guilty? You didn't actually feel guilty. You were taking on your child's emotions, that they felt sad and whatever, and so then you were like taking that on as your own. I'm not explaining this like perfectly.
No, you are. No, it makes sense. 100%.
But it just basically was like, it's like, that's their issue to deal with. And obviously when it's like a child, it's like you have to help them through it and whatever, but that was just like the easiest way to explain it.
What you're trying to say is like, it's like, that like empath part comes in when you like take on other people's emotions of like, is that what you're trying to say?
And she basically was like explaining that it's like people now take empathy like too far,
right,
and literally change how they're feeling and change their values and whatever because of how someone else reacted to a decision they made.
Right.
And it just kind of reminded me of what you're saying of like, you have to like just do what's right for you and seek approval from yourself first.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of like get rid of that feeling of like guilt or shame, because it's like, well, you didn't do something bad. You're doing something that's actually really good for you. You made a conscious decision, whatever.
And so someone else may have had a certain emotion, and that's okay. Like, it's like, sucks that they're sad about it, but like, they're going to go process that. And
also, like, that's their issue, not yours, is like the whole thing. Is like, it's not your job to then make them not be sad or mad because they might not value you going and spending time with your friends. But you do, so you have to, like, make that choice for yourself and then, like, feel the emotions for yourself.
Yeah, that's something I need to
I think it's, like, so hard, and, like, I am not good at that either. But I just thought it was, like, an interesting way to, like, phrase that whole, like, I really like the phrase of, like, it's none of your business. If someone doesn't like you, if someone's mad at you, whatever, it's none of your business unless they tell you.
Right.
Like, if someone's mad at you for doing something, like, and then comes to you and is like, hey, you hurt my feelings, okay, that's different. But if someone's just like, you're ugly, okay, that's none of my business that you think that about me. Like, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, darn.
Yeah. So, anyways. Okay, so for each of these then, I have, like, a strength, a weakness, and then, like, something you could do to, like, combat your style of perfectionism.
Okay.
So, again, this isn't, like, you have to fix this. This isn't like, oh, you can't be a perfectionist anymore. Okay, so we'll start with intense perfectionist. So we'll start with you, Sam. So your strengths are you are ambitious, driven, high achieving, and you thrive under pressure and competition. Do you feel like that is right? Is there anything that, like, stands out to you in that?
I thrive in chaos, so maybe, what was the word that I used there? Thrive
under pressure and
competition. So I would think, I wouldn't even necessarily, like, I'm not a competitive person in the sense of, like, it's not competition, like, beating someone for promotion and stuff like that, like, really drives me, but I think it's more of that, like, chaos, like, I think of, like, back when I was a server, and, like, I was a way better server the more tables I had, because I was more on it, and I just got in motion, and then I could kick ass, whereas, like, if you are only serving, like, 4 tables, like, you're a bit slower, you tend to be a bit more lax, so I feel more in the zone under pressure, I would say, and, like, more on it. So that part definitely, like, stood out for those words.
Yeah. Okay, and then the weaknesses, one of these I think is really interesting, because I do feel like when I first say it, I feel like we're going to be like, that's not you at all. And then I'm like, oh, but if we think about it, it might actually. So the first one is harsh inner critic, which I feel like...
Facts.
Okay. Risk of burnout from constant striving.
Yes.
What? Highlight that one. What? Yeah, but then the other one is impatient with others, which I feel like as, like, your friend, I'm like, oh, you're not an impatient person. You're so caring. You're so, like, first to do things. But then it's like, I think about, like, at work or something, if somebody, like, didn't do something.
How mad I am.
Like, that you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I have a very short, like, temper with things. And I think driving it comes out a lot, too. Like, I was talking to my therapist about this, actually, about how I get so angry in the car sometimes. She's like, it's because it's like your first part. It's usually your only moments in the day where you're not around anyone else. And so your mind will actually like allow all those like angry thoughts to come in. Because I was like, I'm like actually screaming at people in my car now. Like I am at a point where like people can't see me coming. So,
that is so funny.
Watch out.
So I actually recently talked about that with my therapist. So absolutely, I would say I'm impatient with people.
That's really funny. Another way that I've seen this described in the past is like, sometimes to a fault, but it can also be a strength, is that you hold the people around you to a really high standard. Yeah. And I think that like that is like very true. Like with your friends, like it's just like because you're achieving so much, then it's like, oh, I want to be there too. But I feel like that might also come out in like your relationship or something of like you wanting to be like, okay, like let's like achieve together and like whatever.
Yeah, totally. I was gonna say that exact thing of like, because you are that like super driven high achiever, thrives in chaos, always doing like something, then you finish it
perhaps
and you're doing
burning
another.
out.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
I think you like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Probably in some situations it like helps other people in your life like
totally
thrive to do that. But yeah, then you're like, well, I'm doing it, so what are you doing?
Yeah, it's so hard for me, especially in my job, and I have to check myself sometimes to understand. I can't wrap my head around how other people in this job don't do as high of a level. Like, I'm like, to me, it's not that hard. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. No, it's because this is, like, it's your thing. Like, not everyone is carved from the same stone. Like,
yeah,
what you find easy, others may not. But, like, I think my job is relatively easy most days. There's hard parts, but then I'm like, why aren't you doing it to my level? And then I'm like, oh, because we're not the same person.
Totally. So then your like things to combat your style of perfectionism, the recommendations are build in recovery, schedule rest as seriously as work.
Samantha?
And I think I really like how it's phrased too, as not just schedule rest, but schedule rest as seriously as you schedule work things. Because I feel like that's something that like a lot of people don't do, is that they're like, oh yeah, I'll schedule rest, but then it's like, but if something comes up, that's the first thing to go.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm definitely bad for that.
Totally. And then the second is celebrate small wins without tying self-worth to achievement.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is also so tricky, because like if you're that kind of person, which like I think all of us are to a certain extent, of like, it's like, okay, I can celebrate wins, but like how do I celebrate them without being like, and that makes me a good person?
Yeah.
Literally.
I can just like take the win and leave it at that.
Totally.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's yours. Do you have any thoughts, questions about your style?
I'll go home and look at my calendar and schedule some rest.
We'll
perhaps.
see. Yeah.
Maybe. If I can find time. I'm a little busy over the next few weeks.
Samantha.
Yeah.
Get me a bumper
Alright.
sticker that says I'm busy. Seriously.
Okay, so the Parisian Perfectionist. This is now you. Relationships, blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
So
blah,
your,
blah, blah, blah.
your strengths are you're warm, empathetic, socially attuned, and you're a strong relationship builder and connector.
Absolutely.
I would agree. I'm almost empathetic. But the one thing I will challenge on that is, and this is probably just a me thing, the empathetic I do think serves me really well in some ways, but sometimes I feel like I'm too empathetic in situations and I take on people's, like, I will be completely fine. And then, like, Tyler will be upset or annoyed about something. And then I'm instantly annoyed. And he's like, whoa. Why are you annoyed now? Yeah. And, like, that's, like, a common, like, bickering, like, fight. Not, like, a big fight, but, like, a bickering that we get into often is, like, he'll be, like, expressing. He's not even mad at me. He's, like, annoyed about a situation or something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm mad or I'm annoyed or whatever emotion he is. And he's like, why are you annoyed now? And I'm like, I just take on people's emotions, like, so much.
Totally.
That then it can be really great in situations because then I feel like I can really be there and like understand what people are going through on a different level or feel like I can.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, you don't need to be mad in this situation.
Totally.
Calm down.
Totally.
So.
I, like, have the same exact issue where, like, it's not, like, out of a fault of, like, I don't want other people to have space to be, like, mad or upset or whatever that, like, more negative emotion I would say.
But sometimes it's, like, I literally can't help it.
Yeah,
like,
and
if someone
like,
is feeling
edge.
an emotion, I take it on that I literally cannot, like, stop.
And then sometimes to show, like, because I'm aware enough to catch myself often in those moments, but then my way to go around it is to go silent and to not try and add on in any capacity when maybe they need someone to be like, hey, like, I'm pissed, and, like, for me to be like, let's talk about it, but instead I'll avoid it, because I am for sure an avoider in conflict, and so if I can see conflict arising, even if I'm not involved, and so it's for sure something Andrew brings up sometimes, where he's like, you literally, like, as soon as I feel a big emotion, he's like, you just go, he's like, I'm there, and I'm supporting, but I can't, like, verbally add on, because I'm like, I don't know how.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, bye.
But the other strengths in that, I feel like, what I would agree with.
Oh, 100%.
And I feel like that's,
I agree
definitely.
also with empathy being a strength, but I understand that part of it is something that, like,
It's just
you
a fine
struggle
line
with.
for me.
Yeah. Weaknesses, you're going to be so shocked by this first one. People pleasing.
Perhaps.
Who's shocked here?
Overly reliant on approval. That's the part that is very strong for me in this way.
And I think I am. Like, I do think I am reliant on approval. Like, and I think that ties in with the people pleasing of, like, I'm doing things not for, like, validation, but to make other people.
I think that just, like, literally the way that... So it's, like, overly reliant on approval. So let's just say approval.
Yeah.
And it's like the way that you seek approval and the way that I seek approval are literally the two opposite ends.
Yeah.
Where, like, I don't actually really know if yours is actually approval. I think it's just, like, people pleasing. Mm-hmm. But it is very much like, I want to make sure that people feel like what I'm doing for them is correct.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's like, I want to make sure that people think that what I'm doing for myself is correct.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And, like, I'm very much like a black and white thinker.
Right.
And so then that's also why I seek that approval, is because if I don't have, like, this was the right choice to make, I seek that approval from other people to be like, yes, you made the right choice. Right. Yes, you made the right call, whatever it was.
Right.
And then... second is prone to burnout from neglecting your own needs.
100%.
So, prone to burnout in different ways.
Yeah.
Prone to burnout by doing too much. Prone to burnout from not doing enough.
Yeah.
Well, like, for yourself.
Feeling like, for me. Yeah. Doing too much for others, not for me.
Totally. Do you have any other...
No, it's just like, it's so funny. Sometimes I think, like, this is just going to sound so like, well, why are you saying this? But sometimes I feel like, do I really know who I am? You know, like, am I, like, does that make sense? I'm not, like, explaining that. But, like, sometimes I feel that. And then you do a thing like this, and I, like, answer all those questions so, like, yep. And then you read that out, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's 100% me. Like...
Well, I wonder, honestly, though, if it's because... of this kind of way of thinking, is that it's like you're like looking for that approval of like, yes, I am that kind of person. Like, even you said something earlier, I don't remember. Oh, you said something about like the positives, and you're like, yeah, I'm really good at that. Well, I think I am.
True.
Like, I feel like that's like
it's your second guess check.
Yeah. And so, and it doesn't really surprise me that you have those feelings and being like, oh, am I like that? Because it's like you don't feel like validated or whatever to just be like, yes, I am this, even if it's you're saying like, I am a people pleaser, I am looking for approval,
and then you're like, but am I?
You're like, am I, guys?
I'm like, maybe not.
Like, do you approve of the statement?
ChatGPT says I am. I am.
Look, I've been doing tarot card reading with ChatGPT. It's worth it.
That. Yeah. Okay, and then both of these things to combat are, again, like, you are gonna laugh at both of these, and I swear I did not, like,
alter them.
Like, I knew you were gonna be this one, but, like, I swear I didn't say anything about this.
Okay.
Set boundaries, practice saying no without an apology.
Oh, it's the without the apology call out.
Right? Like, all of these are like, it's like, practice saying no, and then it's like, but. I'm
like, I can say no.
Or it's like,
Tastes like, no, I'm not doing that.
But sorry that I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So that's the first one. And then the second one, I just thought this was also interesting because it's something you and I talk about all the time, but you don't do. Journal or affirm self-worth independently of others' reactions.
The dagger's in the hot today.
Okay. I'll work on it.
And if I don't, I'm sorry I didn't.
Yeah. I just think it's so funny though, like all of these. It's like practicing no without apology.
Megan actually did this quiz just to tell us what she's been thinking we need to work on, is what I'm coming
to.
Yeah,
this book.
Yeah. She's like, this made up book that's not really real. I made up a cover. She's like, you need to stop scheduling too many things for yourself, and you need to say yes to yourself more often without others.
What was the journaling one again? Can you read that again?
Yeah. Journal or affirm self-worth independently of others' reactions.
Yeah, so do it for myself. Don't have, like, someone else be like...
She brings her journal to you for you to fact check and be like, is this right?
I think, like, the self-affirming is, like, an easier example of, like, in the mirror in the morning, be like... I look good today.
Yeah.
Instead of like
I can do this.
Being like, oh, I feel like I like this outfit. And so Tyler or something's like, yeah, you look cute.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Do it again myself, not okay.
Oh, yeah.
We have stressed.
Know what I need to start doing? Every night I do with Scotty affirmation. So we in the mirror, normally after her bath, she has her cute little red robe on, and in the mirror I say, I am strong, and this is strong, and I am brave, whatever, and we say all, like, we have a little thing, I need to freaking do it, like, for myself.
And you need to do it without Scotty, like, in a moment for you.
Yeah, I need to, like, seriously do that.
Yeah.
I find this super hard with affirmations, but one of the other things that's, like, a big part of it is, like, you have to be, like, actually looking at yourself. Like, you have to do it, like, in the mirror or whatever.
Yes.
You, like, don't just, like, oh, you're on the couch and you're like, oh, I'm
brave.
Yeah,
I'm
or
strong.
whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, it makes it, like, more...
Like, real.
Like, you're
Intentional.
actually talking... Like, it would be like, Sam, like, you are beautiful. Like, I'm actually saying that to you. But if I was just, like, sitting here being like, oh, I'm beautiful. Or something, it's, like, nothing.
It's
But if
not
I,
the
like,
same.
said it to myself in the mirror, it's... Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm going to do classic perfectionist as mine. I'm obviously very split between A and C, but just to cover this one. So strengths are organized, dependable, structured, excellent at planning, detailed, and follow through.
Absolutely correct. Would check. Anyways.
It's very funny, though, because in the same way, and this is what makes me totally the approval, is, like, excellent at planning, detail, follow through. I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't think I follow through enough. Or,
You're like, I'm a great planner, but have I sent that reminder text?
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, what projects have I started that I haven't finished? Like,
Literally.
actually.
And you're, like, really good at finishing your projects, too. Like, think about, like, home reno stuff you've already gotten done.
Thank you. I appreciate
FYI.
the approval.
You're like, I needed that.
Maybe that's why we're all seek approvals, because we're all so good at giving it to each other.
We're all complimentary people.
And so then when we're not together, we're like, nobody's told
But
me
did I
I'm
do
doing
it right?
good at this.
Literally.
I think I've just found a
Crack the code.
crack in our friendship here, guys.
Yikes. Okay, weaknesses. Can be rigid and overly critical.
Okay. Hilarious.
Yeah, obviously, very true.
Yeah.
And I, this is, like, what I was saying with yours of, like, can be, like, critical about the people around you or whatever. Like, I feel this as well about, like, this one, and I've read this in, like, this area as well, that it is, like, you hold yourself to such a high standard that then when someone else isn't doing it, you're like, why aren't you? Like, this is how you do this.
Yeah. And I think for that one, it didn't specify, but I feel like with you, it's like you're critical of yourself and other, like, it's like
100%.
of like, and I think it's because of that. Like you said, you're like, well, I'm holding myself to the standard. If I'm doing this, you should be able to be doing that too.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Well, and I think the difference between, like, the way your, like, this type is worded versus my type, and the key word I want to highlight is I feel like mine comes off more impatient, and yours is more critical, per se.
Totally.
Like, I think that mine genuinely comes out in more of an impatience, and I'll often just jump in to fix it, because I can't wait for people to figure out their own crap. Clearly impatient.
So it's seeming like there's
You
some
have a
actual
specific
real
person.
feelings right now, yeah.
And it's us.
Yeah, she's like, figure out your crap.
Was it a Sunday morning? I might be drinking whiskey.
So you can have a whiskey if you want.
I got a lot to do today. I can't.
And then this truly is, like, I literally answer this as, like, if I was in an interview and they said, what's your biggest weakness? I would answer it more politically correct. Than, not that this isn't politically correct, but I would be, like, more political about it. But this is literally what I say is my biggest weakness. Struggle to adapt when things go off plan. I am not a person that handles change well. I do not like change. At work, I can deal with change if I understand all the reasons behind it.
Gotcha.
And, like, that is how I would word it in an interview if somebody asked me, like,
So
what
then
is
they're
my
like, this
weakness?
girl can't change. What?
Yeah, it's like, if there's a change, I then have to spend a lot of time understanding why we're making the change.
Yeah.
Which, like, I just take that on myself. But in my personal life and stuff, like, I think that's also why I'm so routine-based.
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a homebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so, like, even when we lived in Calgary, I would sometimes drive to Airdrie to come to, like, a, like, store here. Because it's like I just knew it.
Yeah.
Rather than just going to, like, finding one that was closer to me.
Where was I? I was in a new store. Like, it was like I can't even remember where I was. It wasn't this, but it was like a different superstore or something.
Yes.
And it wasn't the regular one I go to. And I felt so lost. I hated it. I was looking for something. And I was like, I don't know where anything is. It's a stressful situation.
I'm pretty much always a superstore shopper. And I had to go to Walmart for something. And I was looking for something there. And I was like, I don't even know where to begin of, like, where this would be in this store. And I, like... So even just, like, little things like that.
Yes.
Like, yeah, change is not for me. And I am not a spontaneous person in any way.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
Okay, so my to combat are practice flexibility, intentionally leave small things imperfect. And then the example is don't over edit an email.
Oh!
And I'm like...
Did you feel personally attacked by that one?
But I'm just like, it's an email. That's like professional. I'm like, how do you not go back and make sure?
Well, you can overly edit. You can still edit.
And let me ask you a question. So say you're emailing like I know your one friend at work. I don't know if we're saying people work names, so I'm not going to, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, and she knows who we're talking about because she watches.
Shout out to Megs, work friend. But if you send her an email like replying to something, like would you ever not reply like, hi, so and so, on it, thank you so much for sending my way, or like, because like at work I will send like a haha on it, you know, I got it, haha, like wink face smile or something like that. Like I will reply to emails that way internally with people I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, I guess to be honest, email is kind of like a weird example because we don't really use email at work. We're like a Slack company, and so it's just like I would never be emailing somebody internally just to chat about something we're working on. Like that wouldn't happen. So then emails to me are so much more formal because it's with like clients or whatever. So this could literally just be like, don't over edit a Slack message, and then
and I think the key word there is like over edit. Like you can still, I don't think it's saying like, oh, go and say LOL to a client email.
It's just funny because like literally I have like a visceral reaction to being like, what are you talking about? Like you can't leave those little details. Like, so it's just funny.
All very accurate. And it's funny how we all were something different, but like I connected with A and I also connected with D like on a lower level, but like, so it's, but none of us connected really with B at all.
Yeah, and I'll still read that one for anybody listening whose one that was quickly. And then the last one for my combat is also use self-compassion exercises. Remind yourself mistakes don't equal failure, which is also massive.
That's a big
And I feel like that's something you've already started doing really well. Like I feel like you've incorporated that in and out, like maybe not always so consistent, but you are good at recognizing when you need it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Again, thank you for the validation.
We got you.
But I also just think, just going back to what you just said, I also just think it's interesting because as we were going through the quiz, it was like, you especially were like, oh, can you read them again? I don't know which one. And you were like, oh, A or C, I don't know. And then it's like, once it gets to like, here they are, it's like, for sure D.
Yeah,
for sure C. For sure A. Even though it's like, we have those little things. So I just think that's like interesting how it all like comes to the surface.
100%. Did you guess that on it? Because obviously you did this before. So did you guess that we were going to be C and D?
No, I actually thought that you would be A also. I thought that I thought that.
But then now reading D, I'm like, it's
sure,
100%
for
right.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just especially with like those first questions that are like really like I'm list oriented. I can't start things until things are organized, like that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, Sam will be A, probably. But yeah, so then just lastly for anybody who answered mostly B's. This is the messy perfectionist. So your strengths are you're a big picture thinker with strong creativity. You have deep vision for potential outcomes. I also just like, as I was reading this, I was trying to think of people in our life that like might be this type. So we don't have to like name names or anything, but I just thought it was like interesting. Like if you guys can think of anybody.
I have someone in mind.
Okay, cool. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
And then the weaknesses are prone to procrastination or avoidance. That's like the biggest part of this type of perfectionism. And that they can get stuck in fear or failure and never finish. So these are also people who like start a lot of projects but never finish them.
Okay.
Or just like won't even start them even though they have these like really thoughtful like big dream ideas. Yeah. They'll like just never actually get to the finish line. My nightmare.
Yeah.
And then to combat this perfectionism type, the recommendation is to break goals into very small steps. Right. So you just focus on starting, not perfecting or finishing. So like, if it was like, I'm going to clean my closet out, it's not like, oh my God, I have to clean my whole closet.
It's like, start with your jeans.
Yeah. Or it's like, pick up your laundry off the ground.
Gotcha.
And then that's the task. And you finish it and that's it.
Right.
I don't feel bad calling this person out on it because he's my husband, but this feels like Andrew.
That's the person I was
And that's like 100% who I was thinking as well, so.
Yeah. He for sure is a guy who like needs to know that it's going to be perfect when he starts it and he has a hard time starting something.
Well, if it's like too big of a thing and he's not going to be perfect
like if he doesn't see the end goal of perfection, then he has a hard time and procrastinates for sure doing a task, which I'm sure you know from working with him.
Well, and also I don't want to like just be like all ganging up on him being like, this is him for sure. There is somebody else that I'm thinking, but I just won't say their name because like I don't know if they would be comfortable or whatever. But yeah, I definitely think that we have like other people in our lives that do fit this one. And then the second way to combat this is reframe mistakes as learning experiments, progress over perfection. So it's kind of just like a lot about just like thinking about things in smaller steps rather than being like, oh, I have to do it all at once.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which
Which
is
is
down.
I feel like all of us are kind of like this, but especially just like our types. I feel like then it's almost the opposite of like we need to see the full picture before we like.
Well, it's like
in
I need
order
to know
to
the
succeed, we need to
purpose
have
as to what I'm doing. Like I want to know why. Like you said.
Yeah.
Totally.
Give me the why.
Okay.
Cool.
Sweet. Okay, those are all my thoughts. Those are all my questions.
That was good. I liked it.
We all have some things to work on.
We all have
But
some homework.
we also have things that now we understand, like our perfectionist types, like
Yes.
make us good in that, like certain tasks or in like certain roles.
Well, and I think it also just like really highlights too, like we've talked about a billion times before on this podcast, where like we are all quite similar. There's a reason we all enjoy hanging out with each other, that we like find value we each add in each other's lives.
Yeah.
But we're also slightly different, and it's so interesting how like our pros and our cons can work together to like
Totally.
like for example, if somebody needs affirmation a lot, like naturally we are like people who give out our approval easily because we are so like task orientated, and we just see that as like we know we need it, so we give it right away. So it's just very interesting to see how we can all like mesh together, all be different types but still like be so cohesive together.
Oh my god, okay. I just wanted to ask it one last question because I just thought this would be a good way to wrap it up. So I just asked what are one or two like top careers for each type. And this is like, it actually just, this is like made my jaw drop. But, okay, so classic perfectionist, that's me. Best fits are project manager or operations manager.
Yep.
Which is
Makes
basically my job. Or accountant or analyst, which, sorry, but no. But it's like clear
But I
rules.
could see that, yeah.
Totally. But I'm just like, that's
For
not
you,
for me.
yeah.
And then procrastinator or messy perfectionist, the best fits are writer or creative professional, sorry. So like a designer, artist, whatever.
Yeah.
Or a researcher or strategist.
Hilarious.
Which,
Makes
like,
sense.
again, okay, Andrew, sorry, we're just, like, putting you on
We needed to
blast
put
on
somebody in this bucket
Yeah.
for us.
oh, wait, oh, perfect, I just, like, totally skipped past yours. So yours is therapist, coach, HR professional, or public relations, marketing, or community manager. So, like, again,
Check.
the roles that you've been in, that you've thrived in. And then, this is what I was like, this is literally, like, the wording. So it's lawyer, surgeon, or athlete.
Obviously all three of
Performance-driven
those.
roles.
Lawyer, surgeon, or athlete?
I'm gonna be all three.
Those ones are just performance-driven roles with clear outcomes.
Yeah,
so
makes
that
sense.
makes sense. But then this one, entrepreneur or executive leader. And then it's competitive, high-achieving, and thrives under pressure.
Okay. Miss
I love it.
Executive.
Yeah. Okay, cool. These are all fun.
Love
Ah,
that.
I love it. Well, that was very fun to do a deep dive, and now I'm going to be
Thanks,
spending the
Nick.
rest of the day reflecting on my perfectionism.
Exactly. Hope you do too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Drop a hint and let us know which one you are.
yes. Drop a hint, not a,
hint.
comment.
Yeah,
give
what?
us just a hint towards what you are.
So remember
and
at the
then
beginning
we'll
when I
guess.
said I was tired? Yeah, only give us half a letter. Edit
tell
the
us
other
who
half
you
out.
Don't do that. Please just tell us what you are. We want to know.
Yes.
It'll also be interesting to see if, like, people who listen to this and, like, engage are, like, mostly a certain type or if it's just,
Yeah.
like, all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, well, that's a wrap. Bye.
Bye.